Did you learn anything about Dr. Michaels?
Fine. Michaels is in the Bowery somewhere. Sable's moving him tomorrow at noon.
Woo!
Damn, I was hoping he had another one.
No. Fuck that guy. Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Hello. You had a camera, but now you don't anymore.
Yeah, it's freaking out. I'm just trying to fix it.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hello. Thirsty Thursday is here upon us. We took a couple extra days off this week because we were hitting it hard in our nation's capital. So we are back in action. You had to fix a power plant? Well, that stinks. It was a good time. Super good time. A lot of fun spots to get food, a lot of fun parties, and got to see a ton of people. So that was always super nice. I'm trying to, in EVE Online, there's been a bunch of bullshit going on, it seems like. We've got a big announcement related to tomorrow evening. I don't know if you saw that yet. We have some manner of special guests joining us for 4Camera Friday night, apparently of great space import, I'm told. We did drink a lot of Big Wave. Went through a couple kegs of Big Wave. Yes, Wes, thank you. Rubinix, that is the friendship skin. I know, Daylox, it's been a very closely kept secret who the guest for tomorrow night will be.
I don't know if it could...
Yeah, man, I don't know, it could be anybody.
I don't know, we told them we were serious about the big wave. We still went through that really quickly.
Yeah, that tends to happen everywhere. Nowhere. I think places, until you have probably like a several-year relationship with a group, they're not inclined to take on many kegs of a random Hawaiian beer that they've probably not heard of, you know?
Yeah, little did.
Yeah, our guest tomorrow is a person who's been on the show, but boy, haven't seen them in a while. Haven't seen them anywhere in a while. So it'll be nice to catch up. We did buy art from a sketchy vendor. I didn't even get my art, as a matter of fact. I had to pick out what it was, but I never received it. Well, that's good, Jackson.
I was a little bit worried because the rum bar we went to, I didn't get a charge from them. So I'm wondering, holy shit, did we just leave? Did somebody else get stuck with this? And fortunately, a few days later, it finally posted. But
wow.
That was a monster bar tab, $200.
Man, it's been so much worse.
Yeah. So it's as far as those things go, it's not Vegas, at least.
Oh my God, Vegas is awful for that.
And then when I was looking at the pictures and seeing just how many pictures we had on that table, I started thinking, it's actually not a bad deal.
No. Same thing happened in Chef Jeff's that one day. I mean, we had 25 people there at one point, and at the end of the day, when we went to close all the tabs, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to be terrible. $150 because everybody just closed their tabs. Brisk will be here.
There was that one table that basically went all day, and they just kept running up on the same. They were using a single tab for the whole table.
Yeah. Yeah, I had like 5 different charges from Chef Jeff over the course of a few days. There you go. Delightful. Ragnar, you understand. I mean, you guys get it. You have to create excitement around exciting guests. So I've been giving breadcrumbs all this time, especially on like social media. I still have to say who the guest is. You understand this game. You guys have been around long enough. And honest to God, it's sort of a 50-50 mix between just standard PR and we won't be able to be canceled in time if somebody freaks out by the time people figure out who it is. It's, gives us a short runway before we're airborne. Man, it's going to be cool, though. Good time. Brisk is doing? He said he'd be here at 9-ish. There's no telling what he's up to. He's a troublemaker.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
It's also good to have had a few days rest.
Holy cow. Yeah, tell me about it. I was in bed by 9:30, just reading a freaking book both days. Listen, our sincere hope that Brisk isn't working right now or or we're all going to suffer if that's the case. Because it's the weekend.
So long as Mrs. Brisk isn't the one having to work.
Indeed. Yeah, I heard Hippo's wild ride story. He was telling that in the lounge in Karma Fleet or something today, somewhere. Lucky to be employed still right now. What's new? That doesn't surprise me at all. Something like that.
I have to say, for all of the trouble I have gotten into, I have never been in handcuffs. And by saying that out loud, the next
Is the bot on? Yeah, the bot should be on. Let me look. What's the bot command? Did I leave DC turned on? Oh, I may have to reset it. Doesn't look like it. I can reset it. Oh, you know what? I wonder if this for history. There you go. Bot's back on. Maybe he did. I imagine maybe he does when he's doing Pentiment.
I make New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good time. Hippo, I don't know what our story is. As I understood it, our boy Scotty, his family's having a memorial for him that same weekend in Las Vegas. We're looking for some details on whether that's a Space Nerd type event or what the deal is there. NOLA would be fun, man. I've had some crazy parties in New Orleans. Believe it or not, the industry I worked in used to willingly have freaking sales meetings there. Boy, they learned that shit quick. They were like, we're never again. Why don't we go to Orlando like normal people, you know, and put them at a Gaylord that's 5 miles from anything so no one can... Freaking New Orleans is dangerous, man. I had customers act a fool. Colleagues, dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, that's about the only thing I can think of worse is Vegas.
Yeah. Yep, that's a real dangerous one. Yeah, I think New Orleans may be worse than Vegas. Vegas, you could at least like almost pretend to entertain yourself with some other things, like going to limitless spas and shit like that. New Orleans, it's bead life or nothing, you know. You're just on Bourbon Street. It's gonna be a wild time. New Orleans certainly costs a fraction as much. It's not the cheapest place in the world, but it's freaking half as much as Vegas is. Cheers, miss. 22 months, broski. Appreciate you, my man. What's up, JD? How the hell are you, broski? 21 months, my man. Both of you guys about to hit 2 years.
Mist, I hadn't really considered it like that, so it's just a nice side effect. I'm his picture of Dorian Gray, so when he shaves the beard off, it appears on me.
I don't know what we're gonna do in Eve tonight. Just gonna see if our pals are camping. I figured with all the Pochven hype, maybe people would actually be out there. Man, I would rather go to New Orleans than fucking San Diego. Nothing against San Diego. The weather's delightful, but it's
I've never been there, so I'm largely speculating, but it seems like a place that... San Diego seems like a great place to live. And, I mean, I would put Cleveland in the same category. Cleveland's a great place to live, but there's not a lot of good reasons to come here.
Sure.
Other side of that, you know, Vegas is a great place to visit. I'm not sure living there would be that great.
Boy, we've known a bunch of people who've done it, though. Then again, we also know a bunch that have moved away, now that I think about it.
Well, it has some advantages. You know, I guess once you get away from the Strip, you're not having to deal with tourists. There's no income tax, and you have decent weather. Yeah, so when are we to do the next Cleveland meet?
I don't know. We should probably just wait till spring or something when it's kind of nice. Don't have to wait too long, but at least not friggin' snowing.
Yeah, also probably not any later than June, though.
It's just how it is.
Well, the problem is the further people have to travel, the more planning you need for the event. So, like, you know, the Cleveland one, we've got a couple of people. There's a couple of people doing a lot of travel, but mostly it's people who are within driving distance. So there's not going to be more than 15 of us. We don't need to worry about any serious planning. Just pick a date. Hey, everybody show up. It's easy enough.
Yeah,
but
that one. We don't do hotel blocks or like a banquet dinner or nothing like that.
Right. Right. And when you start scaling to that, like, you really need somebody who is both local and has the time and inclination and, I guess, frankly, the skills necessary to plan that. That's been something that's come up before, is we have had people who, you know, they wanted to plan, like, a local meetup, and they were willing to do it, but they just didn't have the, like, the personal skill set necessary. And that became a problem on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, with Cleveland, we basically just suggest a couple square block radius for hotels, and tell you where we're going to meet on Friday night, and that's the end of it. What Discord channel to pay attention to if you need to hook up with people.
Yep. And downtown Cleveland's not a big place, so as long as you're at one of the hotels, the worst case is you're going to be a few dollar Uber ride away. But even then, like I think that for most of the Cleveland meets, I don't think we've used Ubers.
Yeah.
One day we'll get Cleveland meets back room.
That'll require some things. And probably it'll have to be one of the first stops on a night. Like, we're going to have to get people there to begin as opposed to end.
Yeah. Well, the last time I was there, they were, how to say it, considerably friendlier than the reputation of old. Like, the guy who used to own it, who was known for being a real dick, he sold it, so. Like, the weird, arbitrary exclusivity seems to be largely gone.
That's good. I mean, give me a break. You want to have, like, a successful business? Or can't do that shit.
Like, I mean, I've been into the back room a few times just, like, when they had space, so.
Yeah, Carneros, it was a nice time. DC's a good city, man. It's about as easy as it gets as far as flying in. Even if you got to go to the other airport, it's not a big deal. We had international people come into this one. I mean, that's remarkable.
You know, I can understand why people would complain about Reagan, but that is not a terrible airport.
Oh my God, I love Reagan. I don't mind. I like the big hallways. You know how airports, like, their cardinal sin is being too narrow, you know? Yeah. Like, where you got to walk through these throngs of people. I hate that. Reagan has these giant, grand hallways. It feels like there's limitless... I don't know. I don't mind. It's not the biggest airport, but holy crap, it's easy to fly into. Hey, Betty, good evening. 17 months. Cheers.
Right, I was expecting, like, LaGuardia. LaGuardia is a terrible airport.
Yeah.
And they're kind of the same thing. They're the close to the city, too small for the city airport, but Reagan handled it so much better.
Yeah, I don't mind that one at all. It's not one of those airports where you could buy 2 weeks worth of clothing and the luggage to go along with it. You know, it's just not like that. Some of them are where there's a bunch of them that have almost malls in the airports. I mean, and just Reagan's not one of those. You get a couple Hudson News and you're good to go. That's what you got.
Shit, I kind of feel like Cleveland has more. Because Cleveland, you can do that.
Yeah.
You could go to the Cleveland airport with literally nothing and just buy everything you need for a trip right there.
Yeah. JFK's got what's the one we fly through to go to Iceland?
Boston.
Yeah, that one's got a shitload of stores.
I'll bet that same bartender at the Irish pub still works there.
Probably. He doesn't remember us, but we remember him.
I was talking to somebody who's traveling a lot, and we were joking that it's the only thing worse than when you start recognizing the airport staff in other cities is when they start recognizing you.
That's funny. I don't know. You take the same run enough time. I know a guy who works in the city Just flies in, Sunday night, leaves Friday afternoon. He said he knows half the people on his plane, because it's all people that do the same thing. A certain kind of person moves around at these certain kind of times and on these specific airlines. These guys don't use Spirit here. They're not like getting a good deal. They're just participating in mileage programs, basically. I'm sure you really get to freaking know everybody.
Vlad, as long as you have like 2 hours or more for your layover, you'll be fine. Probably, maybe.
Ish.
And not having to change airlines.
I don't play around. My girlfriend is a nuts traveler who will like walk in to the airport as an airplane is boarding. I don't play that shit at all. I will get there 3 hours early, and basically I have just a if I sit down and I'm like, man, 2 hours, okay, let me connect to the Wi-Fi. I'll start downloading shows just in case I want to watch something or read a book or what. I don't know. I find a way to occupy myself because the stress of 20 minutes of bad travel is so much worse for me than 2 hours of just being stationary. Or I'll walk around the damn airport, get my steps in. How do you do it? Do you get there early?
Always. Especially going out of Cleveland, for me, it is 30 minutes door to door. If everything goes well, it's 35 minutes door to gate. But my route from my house to the airport is like the main commuter thoroughfare for the city. So that 35 minutes, if there's an accident or two or bad weather, can turn into an hour and a half with no warning.
Yeah. I'm not like a snappy or a bitchy person where like if things don't go my way, I'm going to make it worse. I'm definitely not like that. I really lay low, but I do have like internal stress when I feel like I'm late for something. I don't know. Maybe it's just beating myself up, but I'd give 3 hours to not feel that way for 3 minutes. No problem.
Yeah. I would much rather sit down at a bar. Maybe I'm not eating breakfast at home. Whatever. I'll get to the airport so early that I can have a nice, comfortable breakfast there.
Yeah.
Or if it's later on, lunch, have a beer, browse Reddit on my phone for a while. No big deal. And that's actually a good tip for weathering long layovers at any airport is don't try and sit at like the normal waiting seats. There's never power outlets. There's too many people. You can't even really get up. But you go to any of the bars, we'll have plugs right at the bar, and as long as you're spending some money, they will let you sit there as long as you want.
Yeah, grab a hummus and a nice tea, something like that.
And the chairs are way better.
I don't like to drink at, 8 o'clock in the morning or anything, but I will definitely post up at a restaurant if I can help it and just get an appetizer and read.
Yeah. If it's the morning, just like coffee. That's enough to get yourself a place at the bar. Yeah, lounges are better for long layovers. If I have a layover that's more than like 2 hours, I will go get a day pass, which is something you can do at basically all of them. Be aware of that. You don't need to do the $1,000 membership. You can walk into your airline's lounge and just say, "Hey, can I get a day pass?" They're like $50. The American Airlines ones aren't even that good of a lounge, but I can go into an American Airlines lounge, put up $50, get in, have better Wi-Fi, much better seats, and free Bud Lights. If I'm sitting there for 4 hours, I'm going to drink more than $50 worth of Bud Lights.
I have Capital One and American Express, and I've never been in a Capital One lounge because they've always been in the same place, and I'm just assuming the Centurion lounge is nicer than the Capital One, but They're a freaking lifesaver sometimes.
I don't fly enough to be able to justify the big fees on those cards.
We have them for work.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, the Centurion lounges, especially like JFK and DFW, they're really fucking nice.
I am working very hard to get Platinum Pro on American this year. To the point that I'm probably going to be scheduling 2 short trips just for the purposes of getting miles.
You can't just buy miles?
Not that count towards the loyalty points. I need 11,000 miles.
That's a decent. That's not just going to Florida and back.
No, it's I can get. I think I can get 8,000 of that by just taking a weekend trip to the Air Force Museum.
What do you get, like 5 times miles or something?
There's a big bonus using one of the travel sites to book a hotel.
Carneros is offering to take you to dinner. Fly to Palm Springs. You'll get your miles.
That is tempting.
I'm sure it would be a delightful dinner.
Omri, like the reason that I'm closing in on Platinum Pro instead of having no status at all is because American has realized that they're not actually an airline, they're a bank. And so you can get most of your loyalty points on a credit card.
That's how they work these days. You just pick. Kids, we've talked about this before, but just a super quick Cliff Notes version. Pick. You're either going to do an airline card or a hotel card.
Yep.
And by hotel card, that means you're either going to be on the Hilton side or the Marriott side, one of the two. And if it's an airline that has a hub where you live. For sure. You want it to be something where it's constantly available to you so you can use it at any time because you get like upgrades and shit like that. That's real money. Not having to pay for a bag is real money. You know, that's all matters. So you got to take advantage of that stuff. Those companies will do anything they can to bend you over the barrel. So if you can claw back a little ground, it's really helpful.
Yeah, I go for the American Airlines card because it has the miles that I can eventually spend, but it also has the non-monetary niceties such as contributing towards getting status. So just like, I just love that so much when traveling. I can't get over it. Being able to go straight to the priority desk when I need to check a bag and not have to go through the kiosk or the bag check line.
Right. Boy, you want a great benefit. I've got one that not a lot of people know about. If you've got an Amex Centurion card, your card automatically qualifies you for like Hilton and Marriott gold level, which I mean that would cost a lot to do either one of them, let alone both of them, and you get them both for air quotes free by having that Amex. So all you need to do is be in. I don't ever use Hilton. I use Marriott. I have the Marriott card. But still, my Amex was able to improve my Marriott, even though I use it constantly, and it was able to put me at an equal level on the Hilton card too. So make sure you understand the benefits of your damn cards. You know, those companies, they don't make it super easy or apparent how to take advantage of everything. So sometimes you got to be a little crafty. Good evening. Yeah, Vlad, they're having the event at the worst place imaginable, but we've talked about that already. What are you going to do? Oh, shit. These fucking cops are shooting at me. See if I can get
anywhere half decent in Reykjavik is ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. run to Darius quick. Or is it Jan? Is Jan the security one? I'm so close. Isn't Jan the security one? I think it is.
Jan, yes.
I'll teach you guys how to improve your security status. Yep, Concord Academy. There you go. Show you guys how to do it if you don't know how. It's one of those weird Eve things. So you either know or you don't. Thera's like that. Holy shit, it blows people's minds how easy it is to engage Thera. They're like, oh my god, I don't even need to have a scanner on my ship. I was packing an Orca and a PAS. Can we get a full screen nom without the green screen? Oh, I see. You're going to try to capture his beard. Certainly, yeah. Just remind me. I'll forget about that. I mean, I could probably do it right now while we're talking about it, just so we don't forget. Let me put him on top of my camera. Hold on. Yeah, he's on top. Hold on. I'll frame him a little bit. You're going for the beard, I assume, so I'll make sure that's what's in the frame. There we go. And let me turn off his filter. All right, Daylox, there you go. No pressure, Nom. You're just sitting there.
The shadow from my glasses arms looks kind of hilarious.
All right, Daylox, we are at 41 minutes, 15 seconds if you need to come back and find it. But it's there. Thank you for being such a good model. You were very cooperative. All right, good to go. Nom with the eyeshadow. That's not quite what he said. He's doing like a Trent Reznor. He's wearing eyeshadow. Or Dave Navarro. He's got on mascara and shit.
God help me.
That's funny. Okay, all right, here we are. You know what? I'll make my UI a little bit bigger so you can see this a little easier. There we go. All right, you can see. We're in a Concord office. This is Jan. This is the closest one, I think, to Jita. If you're like me and you've got the police yelling at you everywhere you go in local and showing up on the gate, I didn't know if I was going to be able to dock in Jita without getting killed, and I didn't want to do that live on the stream, so I figured I might as well fix this and just get it over. Fucking jeez. I don't know if I can even get to it without bringing back that one window. Oh, you know what I can do? Double click on myself. So you double click on yourself and you can see what your security status is. In my case, I'm negative 2.5. 5. That's not terrible. It's not going to be too awful to fix that, but it's definitely enough that the police don't like me being in systems. That's from shooting pods and things like that in low sec, mostly. So that's where that comes from. Loquacious, cheers, broski. 9 months. You got your rainbow mug. Appreciate you. So what you do is you're going to look for the Concord office. It's the security office right there. I've found it on the station services. Click it. And this interface is a little sketch. I have a feeling they're going to change this someday, but not today. So basically, there's like a little drag bar right here that I can control that's sitting at where I am, negative 2.5. I'm going to drag that over towards 0, right? And it's going to tell me what I need to turn in as far as tags are concerned, which luckily these tags are sold in this station by players, enterprising players. I can see what I need to overcome my security status and get myself back to 0. So in this case, I need 0 of these, I need 0 of these, I need 1 of these, and watch this. Here's the magic. Right click on it, and you can view market details right there, baby. So I need to buy 1 of these 25 million ones. And then what was the other one? It was 4 of these ones. So view market details. Oh, geez, these are 40 million each. So 120, 157. Yeah, there you go. So almost 200 million to get myself back in the green. So I'll take those, go back to the bar. The exchange tags button is now lit up because these things are in my inventory and able to be turned in. I know I'm going to go over though, Deltas, because I'm going to shoot a pot again. You know, I give myself like a little bit of padding. Exchange tags. There you go. I'm at 0, again. I can click on myself. Security status 0.0. That's how hard it was. It's expensive, but you know, in the case of somebody like me who, you know, bops around in all different kinds of space, I like to have to worry about it. If you're the kind of person who doesn't care, if I wasn't streaming and having to go to Jita 4.4 so much, I probably wouldn't care. But do you ever reset yours, Num?
Well, I try and keep it above -2.
Yeah.
I don't think I have done any ganking on this character in a while.
Omri, you could shoot a decent amount of pods in low sec like that. I don't know how many, but a decent number.
And if you're not shooting pods, you can just go forever. It's the pods that really hurt you. And I think basically no matter what, as long as you're not a brand new pilot, you're better off making the money and using the tags than trying to grind standings.
Oh my god, he's right. Yeah, just use tags to get yourself to 0 and then worry about the rest after that. Ugh, nightmare. Nightmare. All right, well, there you go. You learned how to use the security office today. I'm curious. Did anyone not know how to do that? It was something I learned about. I mean, holy shit! It had to be 5 years into playing Eve until I figured that one out. I had no idea how that worked. You didn't? Yeah. Okay. There you go. You didn't know, and you've been playing since 2005. Honest to God, that's like the least surprising thing I've ever heard. Nam and I always talk about how our cumulative years in this game are ridiculous, and we still hear things and are like, "Are you serious?" It's that there is a remarkable depth to this game that, in some ways, is very cool.
Yeah, anytime you've been playing the game for that long, there's always like periods of taking a break, and there's changes that sneak in that you missed. One day you're talking about it and you find out that 5 years ago they made this change that you missed, where holy shit, it's that easy now?
Nester battleships contain medium-sized holes. That's the last thing that blew your mind. That's mind-blowing, man. They're kind of special for that reason. Now they just need to make them a Black Ops battleship. That'd be dope as hell. All right, Nom, Junior can't stay up waiting for Briss to do a joke forever, so she's going to tell you okay.
All right.
Oh, be careful on this. I will make... Let me show you. Over there, the camera's over there. Yeah, here. Gotta move over. Let me
They can still see me. It's too far in.
Yeah. Here. Come on here. There you go. That's good.
Okay.
Say hi.
Hello.
So you have a joke for us tonight?
The joke is, what's the scariest plant in the forest?
I don't know. What is the scariest plant?
Boo!
That was a good one.
It's too far in.
Yeah. Here. Come on here. There you go. That's good.
Okay.
Say hi.
Hi. Hello.
So you have a joke for us tonight?
The joke is, what's the scariest plant in the forest?
I don't know. What is the scariest plant in the forest?
Bamboo.
That's a good one.
That's a pretty good joke. Oh, jeez. Forgot I'm in Jita. The whole thing, this whole operation's gonna start lagging now. I just wanted to get my skins out of the damn containers so we had them for Friday night. Holy shit, I have too much stuff. 4 billion, okay. Wow, I have a lot of good stuff. All right. Grabbing these.
Look for the ones that are still 0.
You mean there's no price for them?
Right.
I've got a friendship skin for an Astero. That's not too shabby. Got one for a Nester. Anyway, I need to get the hell out of here before my game crashes. We'll do raffle 8 minutes, the first hour. Ahoy, Captain. Well, good luck with it. The system's name is Archie. It's named after Brisk's old cat. Yeah, Phoenix. It's super laggy when I'm rendering my video in 4K and pulling you guys' videos in, and I'm streaming and playing the game from the screen. It is a little bit resource intensive. I'm having this big time internal debate, Nam. You know, my 1080 went out. I think I told you that. About whether I should just muscle up and buy a computer that is even far superior to my existing best computer, which is a 3070 computer, and then just probably not have these problems anymore, as opposed to trying to continue to limp with two systems. I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding.
The first place I would start would be to just go to the old computer, turn it on, and pay attention to, or even just record the beeps.
I don't think it beeps at all.
You probably just want to get a new computer.
Okay.
No beeps means there's something seriously wrong.
Okay.
Beeps means that at least it's working well enough to tell you there's something wrong.
I see.
Like if it's just the video card that's dead, it will beep at you. Like there's a beep pattern that means no working graphics card.
Basically what happens is you turn it on. The tower itself seems to perform normally. It starts the boot up process, but the screen basically just turns on every 5 seconds for 1 second and then goes off. So I see the screen come up as BIOS is loading. I see the screen come up as Windows is loading. I see the screen come up as I'm at my Windows login screen. I can log into Windows, but it's just intermittent signal. That's why I was thinking it's probably the graphics card, because Windows still boots.
Well, for that, try changing the cables.
I did change the cables. That didn't fix it.
Okay.
I did do that.
All right, well, okay, that's different. That probably is then... Could be the video card. It could be the monitor. Try a different monitor, too.
You know, I actually didn't try that.
Like, what the fuck?
Huh?
What are you guys doing?
What are you
The
doing?
same question. Where the hell are you?
I'm in my workshop because I feel like making a model tonight. And why is the name of the stream still Tuesday night when you guys blew me off and I had to do the show all by myself?
It's not. I updated the thing.
No, it's not.
Really? I updated everything.
This show is cheap and not and tawdry.
Wow, I can't believe. Why didn't anybody say anything about that? I updated that all.
Because they're trolling you too. God, I am so tired. I've had to work every day of the weekend this week. I am grouchy as shit.
I told you.
This is bullshit. Utter bullshit. And it is not, and it is exacerbated by the fucking model that I'm working on.
Which model?
A tiny fucking U-boat. The shit is beyond small. It is smaller than my beer.
Do you have a microscope for that?
Right? And the little pieces I'm working on are tiny! Baby pieces! Baby pieces! I'm not choppy, you're choppy.
It's me trying to edit this. Let me just undock from the fucking station. These stations are all such insane resource hogs.
To answer Wes's question, no, we've not drunk the wine yet. I have not had time to do anything. drinking wise. The first beer I've had in a week.
Boy,
Nice hat, though.
I told you guys, if he was at work when he was not here, we were all in trouble.
You're in trouble anyway. All you people. I mean, this was a bad idea. Okay, this was a bad idea. I was watching Greyhound. Have you guys seen that movie? Hi, Dakin. Thank you for that.
Cheers, Dakin. Appreciate you, bro.
Have you ever seen that movie, Greyhound?
No.
Okay, it's a Tom Hanks movie. Based on a book called The Good Shepherd. It's basically about he's a captain of a destroyer on the Murmansk Run, running a convoy from the east coast of the United States to Russia during the early days. It's his first time out. And the U-boats come after the convoy and almost kill him, kill a bunch of people, they sink 4 or 5 of the ships and stuff. And it's just back and forth between him and the submarines. Submarines are calling them and taunting them and shit. It's a really, really good movie. But it made me want to do models of the ships because they use a Fletcher class ship, even though there weren't any of them really that were in the Atlantic. But it's still cool, and so I was going to do that. So I said, you know what, I'll get a U-boat and I'll get a Fletcher class destroyer like from the movie. And I already have a Liberty ship because I've done that, but I have another one I want to do too. And I'll make a little scene like I have the 3 ships together, right? Well, I got them all on the same scale, 1/350. Okay, which is fine when you're talking about like a fucking aircraft carrier, but this is 1/350th scale of a submarine. This tiny little ship. I have a bigger one that I ordered, but oh my god, this is tiny. Brisk is not hammering any more of my models, by the way. You guys got your one shot. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Never happening again. I also like doing Meta Show production meetings for the first time in 6 months, so I'm also tired because of that.
Are you done screaming at your kids yet?
No, it's gonna keep going for another hour. Not gonna lie.
I told you we were gonna have our fucking hands full tonight. Him late scares me. If it's like something fun, okay, that's one thing. If he's working, rest in peace.
You'll appreciate this, by the way. So, we hadn't done this in a long time, but today we had a all-union legislative directors meeting at the AFL-CIO, where I work. And this was like, there were, I want to say 45 or more of us, all legislative directors. And we had a nice meeting all day long, met with some staff folk and talked to each other about issues that we're dealing with and what we think we're going to have to deal with the next year and everything. We hadn't done one of these in a long time. Afterwards, a buddy of mine, who I've known for, honestly, years now, like 3 or 4 years now, minimum. He's the legislative director for the Steelworkers. He comes up to me and says, I've never mentioned this to you, but I wanted to tell you. I have a 90 million skill point character I play in wormholes.
That's pretty funny.
Yep. So there you go. We're everywhere. I'm not the only DC lobbyist that plays EVE Online.
I don't know if you remember this. The last time we streamed, Itchy Scalp won back-to-back rounds.
Back-to-back!
A Vedmak and a Lashak. It was pretty remarkable. We're giving away another Vedmak! Exclamation point raffle in the chat for a Scope Syndication CCP partner skin for the Vedmak Triglavian Cruiser. Badass ship. Something we definitely use. It's in the arsenal. Get yourself entered. You've got another 4 minutes and 30 seconds to get in on that raffle.
I don't know where to start on this thing tonight.
You still have the mallet?
Yeah, it's upstairs. I should. So this is the tiny one. This is the tiny one, and then I got the that I bought.
I feel like when you saw that box, that was when you knew it was not worth it.
I thought I was getting this. This is what I thought it was going to be. And then this fucking thing shows up in the mail, and I'm like, oh my god. And I gotta say, like, this is an older kit, and it's not the greatest kit. Not gonna lie. It's not the best kit. But I'll make it. I don't have pants on. Why would I wear pants? This is a no pants stream. We never wear pants on this show. I never wear pants. No pants. So did you guys have to work during the weekend?
I had to work today.
I
had to work today.
Not okay.
Yeah, well, I actually had the week off, so, you know, no work on Monday, but the rest of the weekend I did have to work.
God damn it. Don't they know? Don't they know the rules?
They don't understand our faith.
Even worse, I somehow made the mistake of volunteering for a project that I underestimated the scale of.
Oh no.
Now that is a colossal fuck up. You should know better, Nom Nom. Never again volunteer yourself.
Once I get through the first part, the rest will be fun.
Yes, Nom Nom is well known for wearing only a half shirt when he's streaming.
He doesn't wear pants either.
Of course not.
All right, exclamation point raffle in the chat. We're giving away a scope syndication CCP partner skin. For the VedMac. Get yourself in.
The VedMac.
Got another 40.
VedMac's a good shit.
It's a great shit. Dollar for dollar, wonderful value. Another 15 seconds. Nice, Jim. Got in last damn second.
That was legit. All right, let's see who the winner is for this. This is for a VedMac Scope Syndication CCP partner skin, and the winner is Captain Pug Wash. Congratulations, sir. Was not me. That's we should roll this again because it wasn't me. Just saying.
Is the rig bot broken again?
The rig bot's not responding.
This is bullshit. Bullshit.
Ridiculous.
You're welcome, Captain. Thanks for hanging out with us, bud. All right, I just sent you your skin code in our Twitch PM. You know what to do.
You know what to do.
Oh, like Outcast.
You know what to do. Hey, yeah.
Outcast is a pretty legendary operation.
They are legitimately legendary in the greatest of ways.
Their best work.
That's true. Bombs Over Baghdad. Great song.
Hey, TPI. The AT Aliens album.
That is a good album. Okay.
Raffle just ended, Corwin. You missed it. Pugwash won.
Blew it! You blew it!
When I say Pugwash won, I mean Pugwash rigged it.
Correct.
Itchy, we were just talking about that. How you won 2 in a row. That does not happen a lot. In almost 3 years, that's happened like twice, I think.
We've had some crazy random shit happen.
Oh
but
my God.
That's extra crazy random shit.
Yeah.
Are you really upset with the trash can? What were you smacking? That was some serious smacking.
Oh, no, there's a... See, the room that I keep the...
Just saying.
Is the rig bot broken again?
The rig bot's not responding.
Bullshit.
Ridiculous.
You're welcome, Captain. Thanks for hanging out with us, bud. All right, I just sent you your skin code in our Twitch PM. You know what to do.
You know what to do.
Oh, like...
You know what to do. Hey, yeah.
Outcast is a legendary operation.
They are legitimately legendary in the greatest of ways.
Their best work came before the Hey Ya days, though.
Yeah, Bombs Over Baghdad.
Hey, TPI. The AT Aliens album is their strongest.
That is a good album. Okay.
Raffle just ended, Corwin. You missed it. Pugwash won.
Blew it! You blew it!
Itchy, we were just talking about that. How you won 2 in a row. That does not happen a lot. In almost 3 years, that's happened like twice, I think.
We've had some crazy random shit happen.
Oh my God.
Extra crazy random shit.
Yeah.
Are you really upset with the trash can?
Trash can.
Smacking. That was some serious smacking.
Oh, no, there's a... See, the room that I keep the baby beer fridge in is also the room that has my tankless water heater and my furnace in it. So it's just like a little utility room. So I keep the door closed because when it's cold, if the furnace kicks on, you guys might be able to hear the furnace. So I just make sure that stays closed.
Does it make like a big giant farting sound? That would be kind of cool.
What, the furnace? Does your furnace make a big giant farting sound?
No, I just thought maybe yours might, because I wondered why you would care if we heard it or anything. I was hoping.
I
was
just
something
think
embarrassing.
it seems like it would whistle.
Oh.
Like you know, you hear those big
Like whistle
the
while
big-
you work kind of thing.
No, furnace has a blower in it.
That's what she said.
Hey Max, cheers, broski. 11 months, my man. You get your rainbow mug next month. Cheers, pal. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Mr. Antisocial.
I'm surprised you showed up here, Mr. Antisocial. Get it? You know, this whole modeling thing was a lot more fun when I could see.
Chat, just give me a X's are yes, Y's are no. Should Briss start doing Warhammer 40k professionally? X for yes. I don't remember what no was. X for yes.
Right, right.
Okay. I feel like the chat has spoken. X for yes. I forget what the other option was.
The thing is, like, I don't know enough about Warhammer to like. Like,
Oh my god, you've got Casimir prepared to speak to you in fucking riddles.
And this is the problem. Like, the only things that I know about Warhammer are Kaz's obscure references that I can't figure out, and random stuff, and then Darkshine's jokes about all of our SIGs. Like, the heresy thing, I get that, and like for the Emperor and all that other kind of shit, but wow. And yes, I don't think Mrs. Briss wants me to have another hobby.
Well,
Besides, Hippo's already done all that for us. He's a Warhammer guy.
You should read Eisenhorn.
Is that a person or a book title?
It's
No,
a book title.
It's Einhorn, Laces Out from Ace Ventura.
Finkel's Einhorn?
Dan Abnett is the author. He writes a bunch of the 40k books, and he's a pretty good writer. I have no interest in 40k the game, but I love the universe. That said, I am pretty surprised that Brisk doesn't have a ridiculous Warhammer army.
See, if I were going to do that, I would probably want to do BattleTech instead, because that's what I played as a kid. And that's what I would want to, like, because some of my friends had the really good sets of stuff and everything. I always wanted to have that, where they had, like, painted miniatures and they looked really good, and I was like, oh, that's what I someday. But no. So. Oh, Timberwolf. Pelicans. Mad Cat for the win. I am a House Davian. I like the sign when Federated Sons in the Commonwealth got that was good.
I didn't get that far in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Anyway. Trying a new technique for bending.
Hippo, it's his crafting basement.
Stuff. This is my craft room, yes. Working on...
We're trying to convince him to get into Warhammer 40k.
Yeah, I know. Hippo, I already said, Hippo, I was telling them, you've already beaten me, to the punch in that regard. way too many models to do now. I would see them on sale and I would have to buy them, and now they're waiting for me to get to them.
I haven't passed a single ship. I haven't passed one thing. It's a damn shame what they did in this place. They killed our boy.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Why'd you and Casimir let him do it?
I don't think they would for me. I've only been doing this 4 years.
Casimir didn't have like an apt Golden Throne analogy to explain why what they were doing was a bad idea or something?
I'm sure he has written at least 20,000 words on the subject, but that doesn't mean anybody read it. You know, I did.
The Golden Throne analogy is actually a pretty good one. The Homar being the corpse in charge.
It's a cool story. I only know because Mittens brought it up enough that I had to fucking, like a goddamn nerd, I gave myself a wedgie and Googled what's a fucking Golden Throne from Warhammer.
I maintain that Event Horizon takes place in the Warhammer 40k universe. That is when humans discovered the warp.
They thought. Uh-oh.
Donovan, I think that's okay just as long as you don't start Googling, like, golden bathroom appliances.
That would be bad. I'm not making miniature. Well, this is a miniature thing. Trying to bend. What?
He just started his first Warhammer 40k miniature. Thank you for asking. We're being supportive right now, so we're not talking about it at all. We're just letting him enjoy it. The Imperator Pro Raider Magnificentor's gloves are all he needs to think about right now. He's doing something.
Oh my god. Okay.
Right, Clavis makes a great point. Brisk, I'll send you a link to something you have to buy to get started. It's $459.
$30, right. Yeah, there you go. That's about right.
I heard if you buy a $2,000 3D printer, you don't have to spend as much on Warhammer.
Right.
Oh, shit, man. What a funny world. How have the comic book nerds managed to hold this kind of crazy pricing over our heads for 40 years? It started with comic books, then like Magic the Gathering and shit. Like all of a sudden they were like, no, you gotta understand. This is a Black Lotus. It's a big deal. And it's just been one thing after another since then. Oh yeah, D&D obviously has a big place there.
D&D. They The drama in the D&D community over the last few days has been unfortunate, I think.
I don't understand how that works, because if D&D is just a game where you're sitting around with one of your friends or a bunch of your friends and your dungeon master is making up a story for you on the spot, what is there to fight about? I don't get that.
So go ahead, Nom.
They're not just making up the story. They're using a whole collection of resources written by Wizards of the Coast. So
are the mobs quantified already as far as attributes and shit?
A lot of the monsters, the geography.
Okay. Boy, that makes it sound so much richer than what I was imagining, which is just some fucking nerd being like, "A manticore emerges from the bushes."
I mean, that's how it is, but like they have a book that has what the stats of the manticore are.
I get it.
Yeah, and a lot of other companies have done things sort of branching off and adding to the D&D world, like and there's a license that allows them to do that. So, like, for example, a third party could, put together a whole campaign that a dungeon master then runs that uses all of the D&D rules and the universe, the monsters, and right now that's allowed. Whereas the license that was leaked would force anything new would probably force anything that somebody was creating for new D&D stuff to follow the new license, which was, I don't think they actually published it, it was leaked. So what we've seen is not necessarily what they're even threatening to, or what they're even actually going to release. So a lot of the drama is just fear of what they might do.
I see.
And that is my biggest criticism of the whole thing. And I had a hot take the other day.
Hold on, real quick. Before you say that, I want you to answer a question for me, though. Are they a reasonable actor, Brisk, or are they a wild man company that does crazy shit like CCP?
No, the problem with them is that they are owned. Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro, so they're part of a big conglomerate, and they have pressure on them to make money, right?
Okay.
Like anybody else, so they're trying to find ways to make money, and D&D, when it was originally launched, was basically a labor of love for for Gary Gygax, the guy who put this together. So when they originally did this, the whole idea was we're going to make this wide open, we're going to make it open source, let everybody use the stuff and all this other kind of crap. And then it didn't turn into big money until it turned into big money. And now it's big money.
It's funny how that happens, right? All of a sudden you're like, man, it's not about the money, it's about love, until the money gets a lot of zeros on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but my biggest thing is, like, as a lawyer, if it's not done until it's done, right? And leaking a draft of some shit and getting everybody spun up and pissed off, and they're talking about boycott this and boycott that. I'm like, fuck that. Don't be assholes. If you want the company to succeed, if you don't want them to do something like this, then they got to get paid. But if you go out of the way to try to fuck their bottom line, that's how things like this happen. But the whole thing was, I think, blown out of proportion by people who don't understand legal shit. But then again, I get legal shit wrong all the time too, and I do this for a living. So
I think the worst of it is that most of the initial people presenting it who had no idea what the fuck they were talking about, and they were treating it as if, and like the new license says it applies to everything retroactively, but the original license says that it's in perpetuity. So just because they say that in the new license doesn't mean they can actually do that.
And that's the thing. Like, I've never heard of a license thing, like somebody being given a license, and they take that license and they use it to create stuff. There's a reliance interest on having done all of that I did it the right way, and these guys weren't going to come after me for money because I had a license to do it and everything like that. Even if you revoke the license, it shouldn't impact anything that's already been done.
Right.
It should only be stuff moving forward. You can't exactly. Well, Karkov's like, my understanding is you don't get the retcon. You can't go back and say, well, I said you could use this, but now because you're making money off of it, I want you to give me more money from that. That's not how it works. So I never understood how that was a thing that they were worried about happening. Was suddenly that these guys were going to, shut down Pathfinder or something because they wanted more money.
Right. It is a legitimate thing to be concerned about because what it does mean is that the new 1D&D or whatever they're calling the next edition is probably going to have that restrictive license attached to it that doesn't let them use that material for other stuff. But that doesn't mean that they can go and shut down everything that's already used it.
Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense to me. I never.
So,
I don't know why.
what's the conflict with Critical Role?
Well, no, Critical Role and these guys have created their own stuff based on D&D. So
you mean like the TV show, like that cartoon?
The TV show, the cartoon, the TV show, the Twitch stream, the people that are making money broadcasting their D&D games and stuff.
Do they have to pay royalties or something like that?
No, that's because they've got the license. They can do what they want.
So it's money. It's money.
It always comes down to money. I mean, that's the bottom line. But I felt like a lot of this. I felt like the company was getting shit on pretty heavily for no reason. I mean, yes, they had a reason. Yes, they were talking about doing something like this. But that's all it was. It never advanced beyond the talk stage because this stuff got leaked. And I hate it when stuff like this is leaked early because there's a chance that this never would have happened.
I am totally.
There's a chance it never would have happened.
I am totally okay with it being leaked early because whoever did that probably saved us from having a real
one. It's just a bunch of bullshit drama, to be honest. But what do I know?
Well, sometimes bullshit drama is the best way to save yourself from real drama.
Now, I will say I'm very upset about the fact that the whole D&D memes subreddit was really funny, and it was a lot of fun, cool, like cute little D&D stuff that only us nerds would get. And now every single thing on there is some bullshit about this fucking one license garbage. And it's like, guys, it's not funny anymore.
Oh my God, could you imagine how like your average high-sec EVE player felt during World War B? They must have been like, this is such bullshit.
This is the worst. Why do these guys keep talking about this stupid
They've been
shit?
doing this for over a year.
Karkov, stop already.
Karkov, you missed it. It was, what is the scariest plants in the forest? Bam, boo!
That was a good one. I caught the tail end of it.
Hey, Jax. That was a good one. All right. I don't know if you guys
So there's a
saw.
YouTube video of a dude putting this model together, and I really want to like find this guy and find out how he did the video. It's absurd. It's an absurd video. He never drops a piece. Nothing ever falls off. There's never a place where he fucks something up or breaks something. He never drops a single goddamn thing. Everything is bent perfectly the first time. And I'm just like, this is about as realistic as a Playboy photo shoot. There's nothing here. Nothing of this is real. How did you do this? Like, I can't even figure out how the fuck he like glued things on, because I can't tell where the glue went on the fucking pieces.
Yeah. Mine one, you've picked a great time to come. Brisk is screaming at the audience right now, so please go ahead.
I've been screaming at the audience since I got here.
Go ahead.
You know what are terrible? Never mind models, are car repair videos. Like, how to change your brakes. And you go there and like, he's just got a socket wrench, everything comes right apart. You go in there, you have a breaker bar, you're hitting with a sledgehammer, and that's still not coming loose. definitely Cleveland problems there.
No, that drives me crazy too. Like, I would love to do, like, this is really what it's like putting a model together. And it'll be a video of me dropping shit, being on my hands and fucking knees trying to find it on the goddamn floor, cursing constantly. My wife saying, why do you even do this? Why is this your hobby? This is not relaxing you. You know, that's it. I could be doing that in Mine One, yes. Oh my God. There's a modeling group in Northern Virginia. I want to go to their meetings because I just want to sit there and I want to like talk to other people that do this hobby and see if they are as educated as I am all the time. I'm just saying.
Oh my God. 90% probe result on the Cisterna. Fuck.
How close do you keep going?
I am so zeroed in right now.
All right. Hippo asked me what model this is that I'm doing. Brand type of models am I constructing? This is the Revell 1350 Type 7C U-boat. And then I am using Edward photo etched accessories part thingy to make it. I would not recommend if this is your first model to start with this because this will make you want to kill yourself. Start with something a little larger. I would say an aircraft carrier or battleship in 1350. Both of those are relatively easy because the pieces are bigger. No. This is submarine, so it's a boat. You're okay calling it a boat. Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't fuck up because I got a tiny model. I fucked up because I got the wrong scale. I thought I was getting a different scale. That was my bad. But submarines are all boats, yes. That's the nickname. They're big boats. They're boats. Call them a boat. I never thought I would be doing a U-boat, by the way, just saying. Because fuck U-boats. Just on general principle. Damn the submarines. No. But no, I thought it was going to be the 172 size one that I showed you guys earlier, the one that's bigger. I thought it was going to be this. I'll open it and show you the hull. I thought it was going to be this sized, like big. It's all big, but it's not. It's tiny. Like, this is the size of something I would expect to do, not the size of a fucking cheap cigar. So, Mark, what are you just going scanning? What are you doing? You're Hecateing it up?
I just cannot.
There is one of these left in real life. Yeah.
One of what?
This type of U-boat.
We talked about it the other night.
I have to go look and see where it's like. Hold on a second. Because I'm a nerd, I have books about all the different models that I do, so that I can look and see. The last one, there it is. It is on public display at Labo near Kiel. That's it. But yeah, my book, so I have pictures. Well, I got to start painting this shit, but I got. This is not a hard build. I mean, it shouldn't be a hard build. It's small, but it's small, but that's the problem. Tamber, I only do ship models because I'm a masochist. And it's funny because, like, I was talking to, I don't know if I was talking about it on here or I was talking to you guys, maybe it was somebody in DC, but yeah, I work in shipping. The r/model makers subreddit is like 20% car models, 50% airplane models, 50% tank models, and like 5% everything else, including ships. And that, yes, that adds up to 125%. But that's just how it is. Like, everybody does, they all do tanks and airplanes. People like tanks and airplanes. So, and every time somebody posts ships and we do ships and stuff, they are all like, I don't know how you guys do that. And I'm like, I don't know how we do it either.
Dude, it's the little fucking railings and stuff. Tanks don't have that shit.
Right. They have tracks and they're bigger and the pieces aren't that crazy and the photo etch isn't as awful. Like the railings, the railing shit is just beyond. Wow. I hate it. I really hate it.
It seems like you are sunk costing yourself into continuing this hobby. And Nominate, do you share that assessment? Like, he's got 10 boxes of them behind him, so he feels like he has to keep doing it even though it sucks.
Here is the thing.
That's something I've never had the patience for.
Here is the thing, okay? And I was talking about it with the nerds on our model subreddit the other day. I bitch and I moan while I'm doing it. It drives me fucking crazy. And it's frustrating at times. But then, when it's finally done, and I can sit there and I take the pictures and I show you guys and you ooh and ah over it, and you know, you're all like, I can't believe you did that. And then it sits somewhere on a shelf that I can go and I stare at it. I go look at the New Jersey every day almost and just look at it. And I've forgotten all of the horrible times when I was on my hands and knees picking up parts off the ground that I dropped and shit. And I just look at that and I say, damn, I built that. And that is a wonderful feeling. It's like playing Eve. It's like where you have to do like 17 hours of work. That's what this is about. Oh, the 1 to 7 day thing that got them the reverse finally. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just the state of CCP. They don't want to do any actual work.
Yeah, well, we fixed it. They switched it back to 1 day. So hopefully that will resolve the issue and we don't have to worry about it again. They did. They put it back.
I'm looking at the Reddit thread and, I mean, the first post is a perfect solution. Make Omega a requirement and ban anybody who causes problems. But that downside is that requires development work, which they are not capable of doing. Frankly, I'm surprised anything on ESI works at this point. It's sort of it's hilarious that the best version of the Eve API was still the first one, which was just a super cheesy, low effort database export. It worked the best. It was the easiest to use. And every version since then has almost managed to get worse.
Well, because why not, right? Why wouldn't it get worse?
My favorite one, though, was actually Crest. That was, yes, let's use a data interchange format that treats all numbers as floating point numbers and then use 64-bit integers as IDs. And you wonder why you start getting mangled data. But instead of actually fixing it, their solution was to present everything as both a string and an integer, and it was up to the user to figure out which one actually worked properly.
It sounds like goon fucking.
I understand some of those words.
See you, Carco.
All right.
It was as far as amateur hour as you can get.
I see there is a DM from Mrs. Brisk on my Discord, which I can almost guarantee is her bitching at me for putting these glasses on, but I need them because I can't see. Almost 100% positive she will be yelling at me because of these glasses. Shit. Bent the rails.
Do we want to bring up Alec Baldwin?
That's a crazy we can talk about that non-politically. That's a crazy situation. Just the way Hollywood sets work. I was very surprised to hear that you would have actual ammunition, possibly.
I don't understand why you would.
You're not supposed to. The fact
Yeah, that seems nuts.
There's no reason to. There's no.
Do you think it's like a conspiracy? Was someone taking a person out?
Well,
I mean, that's probably what they're going to argue, right?
The part of it that I think is going to be the the core of the case is Alec Baldwin's refusal to take firearm safety training, whereas so many other actors who just come out and said, like, we don't understand how this happened because we had firearm safety training and this could not have happened. Instead, he was just relying on everyone else to cover him.
Tom's clearly chosen a side. Risk, do you have a side in the Alec Baldwin situation?
No, I don't. Listen. I am a lawyer. My whole thing is let the jury decide. They can say what actually happened and determine what actually.
I thought I read they weren't going to use a jury on this one.
Well, maybe they're not. I don't know. Maybe he didn't request.
It's like an involuntary. I don't remember.
No, if the involuntary manslaughter is a crime, so if he wants a jury, he gets a jury. But it's like, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know the facts. I'll wait for them to come out in the case, and then we'll see. But it's like, you know. I don't want to presuppose that he's guilty before, there's a trial.
I mean, I think he's clearly guilty of something.
Well, I mean, he killed somebody, but whether it's an accident, that's the thing. Like, this is a criminal trial, not a wrongful death suit, although that, I'm sure, is coming.
Just like with OJ, right? Like the criminal trial.
They'll have the trial, and then
then the family will sue him.
Right.
Well, I mean, let's be clear. If I point a gun at somebody and it goes off and that person dies, I'm going to prison. That's the end of it.
But what if you're Dolph Lundgren? I mean Alec Baldwin. I was talking about Dolph Lundgren today. Forget about Dolph Lundgren. Alec Baldwin.
What were you What could you possibly have been talking about Dolph Lundgren about today?
Dude.
Oh, Hippo, you gotta buy all this stuff from third parties. It's on Amazon. You can find
Honest
it.
to God.
It's like $20.
Hippo knows me too well. I dropped if he dies, he dies.
He dies.
And then I had to explain myself. And then it led into that one. Do you guys remember the He-Man from the 80s? The movie?
Yes, it was the worst
movie
He-Man ever. So bad.
If he dies, he dies. You remember Slimer?
Remember. Like, I think that was the first example of, from my childhood, Hollywood fucking me.
You don't remember Battle Cat?
Remember Battle Cat? Remember Orko?
Who was the guy that was just a battering ram? Was his name just Battering Ram?
Ram Man was his name.
Ram Man. Oh, he was fucking sweet. I remember Ram Man.
This motherfucking railing. Oh my god, I hate this! Fuck me. And the worst part is I'm working with super glue and I need the thin shit because I'm only doing dollops of it. And it just is so quick to dry.
I'd like a dollop of tuna. 2-3
Like
dollops.
a dollop of Daisy. Do a dollop of Daisy.
In Too Much Tuna with Nick Kroll, they always talk about having another dollop of tuna. What's the other guy's name? Nick Kroll and the other comedian, very funny dude, John Mulaney. I just watched a special. It's funny. John Mulaney, isn't that his name? Mulaney? I need to look.
I think that's right.
Canadian. Yeah, he's from Chicago. I saw the goddamn special, Clavis. Stay out of this. Turn your key, sir.
Clavis, why are you the way that you are?
I've tried so hard to scan this guy down. I can't get him.
Unity.
91.4. Highest so far.
Is he bouncing from you or something?
No, he's not moving at all.
How is this so hard for you?
He's in an
I've never heard of you taking this long.
He's in an Astero. I'm in a Hecate, which is a non-bonus ship, so
That's what it is. You don't have a
I
bonus.
just can't catch him. Joe, I don't believe that it will. No.
So, did you guys watch the Tuesday stream at all?
Me?
Yeah, I just wondered. I figured you didn't because you're both a bunch of pussies and had to take an extra day off from DC to rest. And left me by myself.
I'm sorry.
You son of a bitch.
Well, not all of us were the designated driver.
Well, not all of us were the designated drinker either, Nom.
If that is your real name.
I couldn't believe it. But I'm still not fucking done with that game.
That's wild to me. I mean, what do you think?
the
Have you
longest.
gotten 20 hours out of that.
I mean, it's got to be at least 20 by now, right? It's unbelievable.
All right. Well, it sounds like we need to do a Cleveland meet so that we can get Brisk time to finish Pentiment.
There you go, right? No, hey, I'd be there. Maybe. Kinda. Look, I told you guys, like, we're trying to go easy on stuff this year because I have some very hefty goals for our savings by the end of the year. But I am almost a third of the way there. I won't be a third of the. I'm a quarter of the way there. In January, which is pretty solid, I think.
This is one of those things where he's not going to tell us for about 2 weeks, and then he's just finally going to spit it out. And
I'm not going to tell you guys because I don't want to be a dick about it. But we're doing our best to put aside a little bit so that I don't have to worry about Mrs. Brisk getting upset and worrying about, are we going to be able to do this? Can we fix this in the house? Can we go on this trip? Is this going to be a problem? I said, no, honey, we got it.
No, absolutely.
She said, take a year and fix this. And I said, okay. And so I'm doing it.
Entirely sure what you're talking about, but I would say that if you are financially able to, you should really have as much money as you can in an emergency fund of some kind.
So that's the goal. Trying to get it all set. And then what I want to do is, instead of using credit cards, I'll just use our sideline thing as my credit card to pay myself back. Wow. Which would be nice.
You should still use
Steve's fucking Haven slamming into the stream like Stone Cold.
howdy, partner.
What's up, brother?
Nice to see you. Hey, thanks a million for coming by. Super appreciate it. Go follow Steve Saban's channel on Twitch. Also a streamer, a broski that I got to meet in DC. It was a huge
Love
pleasure.
our boy, Steve.
Since these guys came by, let's do a giveaway for a Lashak Scope Syndication CCP Partner Skin ! Raffle in the chat. You've got 5 minutes to enter. This one's for Steve. Thanks again, buddy. Thanks for coming by.
Nam is alive, and I have to laugh at did you see what Chaz was right now?
What?
He said, Nam's financial advice: have as much money as you can.
Well, I mean, come on. What I mean is, if you have any disposable income and you don't have an emergency fund of some kind, stop spending for a little bit, start saving, build up a little bit of a fund. It's just a good idea.
It sounds toxic.
It sounds like you're taking away my fun from me. I don't know if I like it.
It sounds. I'm offended.
Yes, responsible money management is offensive.
It is. It is.
It's too fucking grown-uppy for us. I just want to hang with my friends and drink beer. Can I just? We're not adult anymore. I don't want to do this. So yeah. So speaking of Hawaiian shirts, I apparently bought another Retro Rifle shirt that I do not remember buying, and I don't think I was that drunk in DC, but apparently I was.
Ooh, which one? Or do
It's
we
the
have to
tiger
wait?
one. The tiger one that just came out. It looks like a tiger. I think Mrs.
Nice.
Brisk will like it because she'll think I look like a tiger. Did you also, speaking of tigers, did you guys see that apparently Carol Baskin, that bitch, the husband that she supposedly fed to a tiger was apparently found in Costa Rica or some shit?
No way. I did not see that.
It was trending on Twitter yesterday, and I saw it. I couldn't make heads or tails of it.
No way.
But no one's actually seen him, but apparently they did an investigation and the FBI found him or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Right.
damn
That's
funny.
awkward.
Yeah. Very interesting. Steve, I'm in my workshop. I'm building models tonight. I don't know who she fed to the damn tiger, but I guess, the only thing they had was, that he was missing. Where did he go? We don't know. We've tiger shit, but apparently Costa Rica. Daylock's fetch is not happening. Have you guys seen? All right, you guys have seen what Daylox is trying to do, right? Him and Seema. They're trying to turn the Neo's beard into a thing. They're trying to make fetch happen. They've
What's
done
fetch?
3 different photoshops. You know, from Mean Girls. You know, the
No.
girl kept trying to say, "Oh, that's so fetch. That's so fetch."
I haven't seen
I'm
Mean
going to
Girls.
make fetch become the new word.
Isn't
And
that like a
then they're like,
14-year-old girl movie?
Oh, of course it is. And they're like, don't stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. But it apparently is happening now because the memes from Neo's beard is happening.
Hey, listen, I heard some guy named Crosby died, and I'm like, man, I remember him
Right?
from the Jello commercials, and when he was Fat Albert. I said,
But he was so much about it.
piss people off.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I
who
just,
Crosby
well,
is
it's
anyway.
it's just sad to me that Crosby's dead, but Neil Young is still alive.
Cheers, Caldari. Appreciate you.
Captain, these are my close-in glasses that are not reading glasses. These are the ones that are like they have a little bit of protection to them. So this is my mob boss glasses that I'm wearing now. So
No, Becky,
Those are very good.
that's what he was trying to do.
yeah, that was the way I was going with it. I knew it wasn't actually Bill Cosby, but everybody who brings it up to me, I'm like, man, he was such a role model when we were little kids. I don't know what happened to him
know.
later in life.
I don't understand it. How did this be a thing?
Yeah, if you offered me $1 million to name one Crosby, Stills, and Nash song, I could not do it.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Really?
swear.
There's a song about your fucking town, your whole fucking state by them.
Ohio?
Ohio.
What's the song?
It's called Ohio.
I've never heard it. It must not be that good.
Oh, it's a great song. Three dead in Ohio. Gotta get down to it. So long ago. Yes, about Kent State. What if you knew her and saw her dead on the ground?
Cheers, Kildare. Appreciate you, Bresky.
10 soldiers and Nixon's coming. We're finally on our own. That's a good song.
We apparently don't play that here. It's like
Well,
talking
it's
about.
not a pro Ohio
It's
song.
like talking about Tiananmen Square here. We don't do that. What do you mean? Something happened there?
Right. There you go.
Oh, the Golden Flashes. They won the MAC tournament. It was awesome.
That was great. I remember that. That was pretty cool.
Oh, God, this is such a weird world. Cannot fucking probe this guy. I'm just burning towards him.
This is funny watching you try to do it. Not gonna lie.
I've burnt 5K towards him. He's gonna move the second I get close. Care, goddammit. That's not what this is about. Wait, I was giving away a skin. Let's see. This was for a Leshak Scope Syndication CCP partner skin, and the winner is Fire Rescue.
Fire Rescue. I
Congratulations, Fire Rescue.
Mert, can you set up a fleet?
Yes.
I assume you're not already in one.
I might have started one so I could take a filament, but I'll just invite you. There you go. Uh-oh. Alright, yeah, you're welcome, Fire Rescue. Thanks for hanging out with us, buddy. If you don't know how to use one of these, I'm going to send you a code in Twitch private messages, and I've linked a web page in Twitch chat where you can redeem that code. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
Damn, I didn't realize what system you're in.
I'm pushing it to the limit.
Take it to the limit.
See you, Captain. Have a good night, pal. Hey, check in tomorrow night. I'm told we're going to have a big guest on the show.
Give me a really big shoe tomorrow night. Really big shoe.
Really big. Listen, I will gladly link the very nondescript teaser about who's going to be on the show tomorrow. Boom. There it is. Click the link.
Not at all obvious in any
No.
way.
There's no telling. No one knows who it could be. I'll bring it up on screen right now. You will never know.
What a mystery.
You will never know who is joining us on Friday. Well, hopefully you guys can make it tomorrow night. It should be a pretty good one. I don't know what he'll be doing. We'll find out. Since it was Karmafleet's 8th birthday, I was going to ask him some questions about that shit show and how it all went down. What went wrong in us becoming a thing.
He'll be like, how many mistakes had to have been made for us to end up in this war?
I don't know, Deluxe. Maybe it is. Oof. I can't wait to hear what this dude's got to say. I cannot wait. Hello, Meow. Please probe this person down. I'll invite you to Fleet.
Mark's about to have a heart attack because he can't do it.
Yeah, time to get a virtue set.
Oh, wait. I can just invite you from Corp. Oh my god. He immediately got it. Immediately. I cannot believe it. Wow. Not bad.
How does that make you feel, Merc?
Hey, I'm glad I didn't have to burn the remaining 5K or whatever, you know?
Right.
Thanks, Meow. That was awesome. Holy shit, what a good grab that was. Dear Lord. I was burning at that thing for flippin' ever. God. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. They're landing on us at 0. Oh, no. Hecate's warped so fast, it's not happening. Hopefully we got the pod at least before he warped away. Hello, Meow. That was delightful. Well played.
You are a steely-eyed missile man.
Seriously. Great grab.
Hecates are kind of perfect where they are.
They are perfect.
They're a
You
little
don't need
bit
to
of a
touch them
one-trick
ever.
pony. They're like you're never gonna face a fleet of Hecates unless they're like rich people trying to gank.
It's like they're tuned similar to the way a Kikimora is. They have a specific thing they do. You could still whoop the shit out of them with significantly cheaper and more inferior ships, but they can also do this one thing really good, you know? And Hecate just happens to be more of a single person than the Kikimora would.
And even then, the Hecate is beatable. There's a lot of ships that are of comparable, size and cost that can beat it. It's just a matter of if it gets on you at 0, you're dead. If you can pull range on it, it's dead. And you don't even need to get all the way out of range, just enough to get out in optimal.
Yeah, so you get more than 5k away from it and you're fine, probably. What are you drinking tonight, Mark?
Taking the night off. Why? What are you drinking?
I'm just taking that off, having a couple Mick Ultras. Actually, I only have one left in the house, so
Yeah.
I'm nursing it.
Gotta love the McCulture. Riker, you just missed it. We did a Vedmak and a Lashak. Tomorrow night, show up. We're going to do a couple monster raffles to coincide with what I'm told may be the Matani on 4-camera Friday night. We'll
You have
probably
to say maybe because, it's Mittens. You never be sure he's going to show up until he's there.
the maybe Tani. Yeah, I suppose so, Seema.
That's fair. So this kit that I'm working on is one of the first times I think I've ever done one where I will do all of the brass before I paint it. I've almost every other time I've never done that. I've gone and paint it as I go. But every video I've seen of putting this thing together, they have dudes all do the painting except for like a couple of pieces.
So you know what's best, huh? The miniature community doesn't?
No, I'm following what they do.
No.
They all paint afterwards. I don't usually do that. So because like I always paint as I go. Why do I paint as I go? Well, because I don't like having to do hours and hours of masking tape on everything, which is not fun. And that's what you tend to have to do when you do that shit.
Explain that. Oh, I see what you mean. If you did all the painting at
I gotta
one time,
cover
you gotta-
everything up
I
and then
see what
paint
you
that
mean.
and like.
So
like-
you're painting
like,
parts as they're going out in.
Like, so when you build a ship today, you don't just like start from the front and work your way to the back. You build it in chunks.
Are you speaking in toy ships or real ships?
Both. I mean, this is real. Both in the same
This
way.
is real life. You're seeing right here, people.
Real life. You build different parts and then you put the parts together. But like when they weld a superstructure on, it's like it's done. They just stick it in. So I like to work on the parts so that like when I lay it out, it's like building up a cake. you know, and you wouldn't put icing on the bottom part of the cake before the top of it is built. It doesn't make any sense.
Wow.
So
You make it make sense for everyday people like me, civilians.
I know, I'm trying to help. So
Thank you.
Vlad says, don't the rebel instructions also sort of listen? We are men, okay, and some ladies, but mostly men who do this shit. We don't follow directions. Don't ever follow the directions. The directions are largely bullshit. They are fucking wrong.
I never got like heavily into modeling, but I tried it enough to realize that the instructions that come with them are totally fucking useless.
You never got heavy into modeling. You just dated one from California that we don't know.
Exactly.
From
He
Canada.
was Canadian.
Canada. God damn it! I knew it.
Right.
Canadian.
But,
They're
I mean,
even
like the model, like the instructions here. There is no reason why I should go to the end to do this. I can do this in the beginning. This 16. I can do 15 in the beginning. There's no reason why I shouldn't do it now. When I was doing stuff on the New Jersey and stuff, like it was having me build, like put stuff on and glue it down. And if I did that, it would be such a giant pain in the ass to ever paint anything. Why would I do that? So, and it's the same with like artwork and paintings. Mrs. Brisk will tell you this. It's always about layers. Everything is a layer. You want to do everything in layers, and so you want to make sure you don't put yourself in a position where you have to like spend all your time doing shit. So this is the one situation. Mrs. Brisk is always telling me I'm too much of a rule follower. But when it comes to model stuff, I'm gonna move my hands again. I don't follow the rules. Fuck the rules.
Wow.
The rules do not apply to me.
bad boy of modeling.
I'm a
right
loner,
here.
Dottie, a rebel.
Interesting. Like our own little Chaz Reinhold or whatever his name is.
There's a message here for P.W. Herman. I'm Mr. Herman.
That movie's wild. I haven't seen that in more than 20 years. I'd probably watch that again. I feel like it was good.
It is an epic movie.
Well, it was just a little dual prop garbage fit Astero.
Garbage bit of Sarah. But you got him.
He's dead.
You got him. You made the world safe for democracy.
It doesn't translate, Mrs. Brisk. What about, does Three Amigos translate? That was a similar kind of weird movie, very era-driven.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen it in so long. I would have to go back and watch it again. There are certain times when you go back and you watch, like I remember watching Speed Racer again, and it's unwatchable. And I wonder, I have to ask myself, what was wrong with us as kids that this shit was cool?
Oh,
we didn't have anything else?
I'm gonna run around the track.
Speed. Lack of sophistication.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things.
Less exposure to good things. You know,
Yeah.
the first 5 movies you see in your life are the best things ever. The 500th movie has a little bit more to prove.
Right. I was having an interesting conversation with my kid who is now phone age. And I was just like, I just want you to take one step back from this device before we decide that it's the greatest thing of all time. You're sitting here in the place that you live, in your house, just rubbing your thumb around on a piece of glass for hours at a time, you know, and just maybe there's things that you could do that could be more useful. Once in a while, it's handy to rub your thumb around on this piece of glass. it doesn't seem like a good thing to do with the majority of your time.
I'll be honest. Today, I went over to Briss Jr., took his headphones off, took his iPad away, and put a book in his hand. Made him read.
What I tell people in my family when they ask is about, how can I get my kid to learning to use computers to actually learn something useful. The first thing I tell them is throw away the tablets, get them a desktop with a keyboard. Tablets are TV. Sit there and stare at the screen. Once you throw the keyboard in there, it becomes something where you are now part of what's going on. And it makes all the difference in the world.
And then get them the Anarchist Cookbook and get them to that one page where you cut a hole in a tennis ball and fill it with match heads and then throw it at something, and it's insane. It's insane what happens. I know because I read about it.
The Anarchist Cookbook was the greatest thing ever.
One of the greatest reads of all time.
Because it's just totally full of crazy ideas that on the surface look like they might work. But when you actually think about it, no, there's not a single thing in there that is reasonably real.
Yes, like the matchstick head tennis ball, you're going to ignite when it's 1/3 of the way full by squeezing match heads through a tennis ball. Like they're going to light each other and you're going to kill yourself with it. Yeah, there's a bunch of shit in there that just seems really cool.
Yeah, what Becky said, that's not why Strike Anywhere matches don't exist, but Strike Anywhere matches don't exist, so that's why it doesn't work anymore.
Bill's never okay, Wes, on Sunday after a meeting, especially DC. It's almost his signature move now for him to be sitting there like
contemplating life and why did I fuck everything up.
He's picking up the pieces. Wouldn't you say that's accurate? He's sort of picking up the pieces. It's just his thing. It's what he does.
CAD-wise, they still exist. They're just rare and they're a specialty product now.
What?
Strike Anywhere.
Oh.
I miss those. Those were so great. And I do mean that they were great just as matches.
Not as tennis ball.
As tennis balls.
Artillery.
Not a big match guy. I'd never really had a reason to light things on fire. So.
Dude, my friends and I would just take boxes of those and throw them at each other. You would light them in... The lighting had to be a part of the process of throwing it. But like a bunch of us would just sit around on like a garage or a driveway and throw those Strike Anywhere matches at each other. I think something might have been wrong with us. Did I live in the hood?
Yeah, I don't know. I was going to say I grew up in a house that had a fireplace, and Strike Anywhere matches made lighting that a whole lot easier.
Let's see. Rikus, we made a massive potato gun one time. I told a story about it on the stream one time. We put too much Aquanet hairspray in it, and it exploded and just turned into PVC shrapnel. Honestly, I assumed a piece of it was like lodged in my friend's freaking ventricle because of where he was holding the gun when it blew up. I can't believe he's alive. See you, Kaldari. Have a good night. Well, day, I suppose, where you live. Yeah, that was your PM that said they were resigning today. She's over it. Jacinda. Right?
Yeah.
I thought I saw that.
No, I mean, I don't blame her. Like, from what I understand, part of the reason is just like women get subjected to such absolute dog shit when they're in elected office. It's really awful. Like worse than for men. Everybody in elected offices gets subjected to dog shit. And even if you're in appointed office, you get subjected to dog shit. If anybody finds out who you are. I guess it was pretty bad for them. So.
I can only imagine the BBC headline, Mrs. Brisk, was something like, "Woman can't handle 2 terms in office."
Right, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I have to imagine it was so degrading. So she seems like a cool lady. I don't know. What do I know?
Yeah, I don't know. I always wonder, like, what has to be wrong with somebody to decide to go into politics.
I bet some of them. No shit. Honest to God, and this is, Brisk is going to white knight here, but I guarantee you there are a couple of them that get into it for the right reasons. They're just like, I want to be like a civic organizer. You know, I did some local political job. I think I'm ready for the next level. Maybe an old legacy person who's held a seat for a long time goes and there's a vacuum. You know, something. Oh, good. There we go. Mrs. Brisk has linked it. Staggeringly sexist. Oh, God. Can women really have it all? Jesus. Yeah, that's a bit much. Lady doesn't want to do it anymore. Who gives a shit? Oh yeah, Bad West. That was Tunes. He was here tonight earlier, I think. Yeah, we met a Vegas baby in DC. It was pretty sweet. It's a well-behaved baby too. I mean, there's nothing better than a well-behaved baby.
Yeah, actually, that hadn't even occurred to me, like, how much time that baby was around during the day, and if you, like, weren't looking at him, you wouldn't know he was there.
That, yeah, not one bout of crying the whole day.
Yeah, what Wes said. Definitely,
Yeah.
the baby was one of the better behaved people there.
There you go. Yeah, Tunes is here. Hey, congrats, dude. That's cool. I remember having, like, new family. It was legit. Once you get over the terror of, like, oh my God.
Oh my God. This person is completely reliant on me.
Yeah. Every day your kid gets older, you're like, whew, they're a little more resilient than they were yesterday, you know? And you finally get to a point where you're like, all right, now their brain is what's protecting them. Yeah, I was super scared, man. I was older, too, so I had, like, more resources than your average 20-year-old who's trying to kind of hack their way through it. And I was still scared. Yeah, Betty, it's really cool once you can start talking to them. Lambos are cool, Joe. I agree. I don't know that I would trade my daughter for one, but they're pretty sweet.
Yeah, no.
16 grandkids, Texas. That's a hell of a lot of grandkids. Congrats.
A lot of grandkids, dude.
That's good, though. You don't see big families anymore. I certainly don't have one. I have a very small family.
Me too.
Yeah.
Who can afford a big family?
You got to live that Costco life or Sam's Club or whatever, where you're really making it count with the protein. Boy, and kids don't get to be picky eaters in families like that. Holy shit. That's the one thing that I've tried to discern away. Like when I feed Freddy by himself, he will eat one atom of food and then leave the rest and be totally uninterested in it. When I feed Freddy and my girlfriend's dog is here, Freddy eats like he's in prison and he's terrified. He doesn't know when his next meal is. You know, like he just wolfs it all down. He's very competitive about it. I think it's kind of the same with kids. Like when you only have one or two kids, they're like, oh, but I don't like vegetables that are green. You know, like they have these weird, very specific tastes. In another family with 10 kids, you're eating what's on the table right now, and we don't have a lot of choice over what that is. That's probably whatever was on sale at the grocery store. It's kind of funny how that works. Kids have some. Thank God, as my daughter's gotten older, she's really opened up and eats a lot more stuff now. That's wild. You guys had a menu. That's crazy. You know what? My kid is pretty well behaved and can entertain herself, so if I very much want to go to a restaurant that she absolutely despises, I will pick her up something she likes. She eats it on the way, and then she just sits with me and has a glass of water while I'm having, you know, something at the steakhouse or whatever. Man, Rikus, I could go for some casseroles, though. Didn't it feel like when we were little, we ate casseroles like several days a week? I don't think I've had a casserole in 10 years. How could you go from eating something every day to not having it for a decade? Has the world changed that much? It seems like it has.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had, like...
It totally has. I can't remember the last time I had a casserole.
Freaking beef stroganoff or something like that? Like high volume food?
So good.
It's been too long since I've made that.
I think the world is just a little different, the way that it works. Man, I just made a shepherd's pie, man. It was sweet.
Shepherd's pie are sweet. The shepherd's pie from Costco is fishing.
Wes, I'll still do meatloaf. I think meatloaf is simple enough that people still cook it because it just requires 2 pounds of something. You can even mix freaking beef and turkey if you really want to.
Meatloaf is awesome. I love meatloaf.
Yeah, I like meatloaf. I, honest to God, we've talked about this 100 times before. I eat all leftovers cold. There's not a single thing that I reheat.
Thank you. Neither do I. This freaks out at me because I don't do that.
I super like to eat meatloaf on just 2 white pieces of bread as a sandwich the day after, and I eat it cold. That is so good to me.
Most leftovers cold, but the one that I kind of like that seems weird to me is actually beef stroganoff.
I could see heating that. Honest to God, I don't heat anything up. I could see heating that up. I could still eat
noodles or something.
Yeah.
I can see eating it up. So
I could eat it either way, though. I could go cold for sure, but I would heat that up for sure. Yeah, chili I have to heat up because I freeze it. So that one's got to get hot.
Also, the having an air fryer for me has changed that math a little bit. Like, reheating pizza in the microwave sucks. Reheating pizza in the oven takes too long.
Right.
Reheating pizza in an air fryer, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, doing it in an oven, you're going to spend 15 minutes getting the oven up to 400 degrees, and then it's going to need 10 minutes to cook. The air fryer, it'll probably take 8 from the second you stick it in until it's completely done, if not less. They're just very fast. It's like a high convection oven. There's a lot going on in there.
It's a hairdryer.
Yeah, it's a fucking hairdryer. Yeah. The stuff that some people can cook in an air fryer is impressive. I'm still at the stage where I've replaced a lot of my convection, like my oven and my little toaster oven. The air fryer to me represents speed. I know that people cook like chicken breasts in an air fryer, because I got the liners now. They're like a paper liner or whatever, so it's not going to be a total disaster regardless of what you cook. But I know there's people that cook really complex meals in a freaking air fryer. Oh my God, Itchy, you just made me think of something. Have you seen those pictures of where people post on the internet like a really roughly crumpled ball of aluminum foil, and they're like, man, look what happened when I put it in the microwave? And then they show one of those, I don't even know what kind of element or mineral it is, but it's like a chrome ball basically. And then the next thing you know, people are like linking their burnt up microwaves to them. Because people are morons. Did you find it?
No. How dumb do you have to be?
Really dumb. Really dumb. Like, my kid constantly turns to me and it's like, this doesn't have metal in it, does it? Like, it'll be a plate. And I'm like, honey, they don't put metal in plates because they know people are going to put them in the microwave.
In the microwave. Yep.
There are plenty of ways you can put metal in the microwave and that'd be totally fine. And a piece of advice for anyone who is fucking around with their microwave and doing weird shit in it, you can do an awful lot of things that would otherwise be destructive in a microwave by just putting a big cup of water in there. As long as there's something there to absorb the microwaves, they generally won't destroy themselves.
Put the aluminum foil in a cup of your favorite beer, though. You want it to have like a good aftertaste when it burns your house down.
Right, when your house burns down. You want it to smell like a good beer.
You want the fire investigator to be very confused about what you were doing.
What exactly?
So there's a Budweiser in the microwave?
Has anyone else here ever owned a microwave that had a literal metal rack in it?
I don't think I have.
No.
I know I have.
Is it made out of platinum? Lead?
Depleted uranium.
God damn it. I wish my car's frame was made out of that. Actually, it'd probably get really bad gas mileage.
Yeah, and then when you get in an accident, it catches fire, and uranium fumes are not great for you.
So I didn't find the piece that I'm missing, but I found a piece that fell off that I didn't realize fell off.
Nice.
So that was helpful.
This is going really well. I think we're doing great.
So you have almost all the pieces you need.
Ish.
This one is too fucked up. I'm not gonna be able to use it, so I have to improvised.
He's stressing me out right now. We've got missing pieces. We've got pieces we didn't know were missing. That sounds bad to me.
Let me show you the size of this piece I'm working on right here, okay?
Okay.
This is the rung of a ladder on this thing. Okay? Look at that little thing on the end of the fucking tweezers. Okay? That's it. This is it. It is the size of... I could put it in the fold of my thumb print. This is what I'm dealing with. Like, God forbid I sneeze while I'm working on this thing.
What are we going to do about the missing piece?
So, give me 1 second. When I'm done with this thing, I'll tell you. It's not the end of the world because I never throw anything away.
What's this mean?
So that piece is done. So the piece that's missing, you can see this thing, like, I don't know if you can see it on here. It's this little thing sticking up on the end of the submarine right here. Okay. I guess maybe you can see it. I don't know. It's hard. So that was a photo etch piece. It was a piece of the brass, right? Well, there are plastic parts of the kit. That's the same piece. It's just plastic. It doesn't look as nice, but it'll be fine. The dog will never eat the missing part because this thing, the cat wouldn't even eat it. It's too small for the cat to even notice. But I just have to clean this up a little bit, and then I can just stick it on, and it's not going to be a big deal. But it's not going to look as nice. But hey, shit happens.
Shit does happen. I agree. All right,
There's
what do you
always
think?
A bigger fish.
You guys ready to call it?
Think
Is that
so.
time already? Wow,
It's
shit,
that
it is
time.
11 o'clock. Holy
It's
crap.
already 11. All right, let's do it. I got to set up for a raid. Listen, tomorrow night, 4-camera Friday night, the Matani will join us. We're very interested to hear what he's got to say. He has not said a word since he split, so we've got a lot of catching up to do. If you can make it tomorrow night for 4-camera Friday night with the Matani, we'd love to see you. We'll do some big giveaways. What?
That'd be fun.
What do you call it when we go beyond a Chad level event?
It's whatever is beyond a Chad level event. I don't know, but we need to figure out what that is so I know what to call it tomorrow. Yep, indeed. All right, everybody, hang on to your butts. We're doing a raid. We'll go see DJ Liv and the French Bulldogs. Thanks a million for showing up and hanging out with us. Boys, catch you later.
Bye, everybody. Fuck modeling. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Hey, everyone.
See you guys.
We're already gone, though.
Meow! Erica's back! But not yet. Yeah! Erica's awesome! Useless little mouse!
Logan Paul apologized. Not allowed to be woke? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get woke over there, you go to the re-education camp. Here we go.
Well, it's finally over. Logan Paul apologized.
CoffeeZilla, you're slimy as he is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, more like an internet criminal.
Oops, wrong video. That was the first response. He actually apologized in another response.
Okay.
It's like a little gnat. It's like a little annoying gnat. It bothers me. The defamation lawsuit, that is happening because this is wrong. This is wrong.
Hold on, wait a second. That's not it either. Turns out it's actually on his secondary channel. That's why I couldn't find it.
That's super cringe that he put it on his second channel. He 100% should have put it on his main channel. I didn't even know this because I watched it on Twitter. That's so dumb.
It's entitled, Thank You, CoffeeZilla. It's the third response from Logan Paul, and it's a pretty big change in Logan's attitude so far.
Yeah,
so
I bet.
Let's see what he has to say to us.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought Logan was going to hire me. But in all seriousness, this video does have some major admissions in it I want to go through. For one, Logan apologizes to me.
I called him. I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego.
Not only that, Logan also pledges a $1.3 million refund plan for people who bought his NFTs.
I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million.
In addition to that, he also promises to finish CryptoZoo, which was left abandoned.
And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper.
Now, I'll be honest, this is a big change in tone, and honestly, a lot of this is good news.
It is. It is good news. I mean, I think that like it's okay to still meme on him for it, though. Like, I don't think that Coffeezit was being a dick for memeing on him about. I mean, he did threaten to fucking sue him, right? So, I think that also, if public sentiment had not shifted so far against Logan Paul, do you think that video would be deleted? I don't think so.
Great that victims are going to get something back.
Yeah.
Logan seems to acknowledge his continuous lapse in judgment. He's not suing me, which is also cool.
That's
and
nice.
Frankly, this new response is just way better than his last two. I think we can all acknowledge that.
Yep, agreed.
While also acknowledging that it's not really a perfect response either. There are still major problems here. Like, for example, many of the victims just have been ignored in this response. A lot of accusations have gone unanswered, and worse, Logan still seems to be playing the victim a lot. So in this video, I'm going to do my best to give Logan credit where credit is absolutely due, while also sharing moments where I think this apology fell flat. And let me start with a positive. For example, I think if you are an outsider who is not affected by this scam and you wanted a reason to love Logan Paul again, I think this nails it. I mean,
I don't know about that. It's just like, I think everybody knows that obviously he changed his tune because the entire internet disagreed with him. Everybody said he was wrong, and he was worried that he might get sued. That's probably what happened. And I think there is a very real possibility that the reason why he actually went back and apologized for all of this stuff is that Logan Paul was, after consultation with lawyers or some sort of legal firm, they told them, they're like, listen, you could be accountable for X, Y, and Z, like all of these things. And he's like, oh, fuck. Okay. All right. We've got to pull it back. We've got to move the goalposts. I think that's what's going to happen. Or that's what happened. And at least I don't know that's what happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is what happened. He was lying in the apology as well. Well, we'll see about that. More than likely, someone close to him talked him out of it. I mean, they talked him out of it now? I mean, fuck. It's a little bit late.
He's giving back some of the money. He's apologizing. So if you're a card-carrying member of the Low Gang, you can rest easy here. Logan says he's sorry. He says he's making things right.
We're good, boys.
I think that's the point of this video.
Low Gang
to speak
strong.
to his core audience, to tell them he didn't scam anyone. And for what it's worth, I think Logan succeeds here. The problem is, I don't think I or the CryptoZoo holders were who Logan was really addressing here. And this is where the response falls more flat, because he doesn't adequately address the real victims of CryptoZoo, which I think they're rightfully angry about. And I wanted to spend some time talking about that because, again, they've been the heartbeat of this whole story, and they feel very differently about this response than Logan's core audience does. They don't feel like it's enough. And I want to talk about why. Starting with the $1.3 million repayment plan. Because obviously this is the strongest part of Logan's entire response, actually opening up his wallet. And I don't want to minimize that in this video. I just do want to put it in context because $1.3 million is a lot of money. Unfortunately, the scam was much bigger than $1.3 million.
So this is something that companies do, is that like every once in a while, a company does something that makes them $50 million. And they get fined by the government for $3 million. Everybody in the public says, that's what you fucking get. You mess with us. You go and you destroy our environment. You pollute the country. Well, guess what? Accountability, bitch. and everybody's happy. And this is the best part about it. Everybody's happy because the company's happy because they're making profit. The government's happy because they're getting paid by the company. And the people are happy because they think the company's getting what's coming to them. So everybody wins whenever the government whenever the companies cheat the government. You think about it. There you go. So Logan's trying it. This is a very common thing. You make $7 million, you give $1 million back. Hey, you gave $1 million. Like, what's wrong with that? Absolutely. What, people don't win? Come on, you just shut up, idiot. Shut up.
The fact is, most victims are not going to be made whole by this plan. Just in Zoo Coins alone, blockchain evidence shows $7.7 million was stolen by Logan's team, depending on who you believe. And this refund does nothing for those victims.
No.
It doesn't even apply to the holder of Zoo Coins at all. You get nothing if you bought this in-game currency. This refund only applies to current egg holders. So they can cash out that NFT for the initial mint price in crypto, which matters sort of because crypto has crashed a lot. So even though people spent $2.5 million on these eggs, in order to refund all these holders at mint price, it now only costs $1.3 million in today's money, which again is
apparently, according to this clarification, just give me a second. There we go. After filming, Logan amended his statement to say the NFT refund will be $1.8 million. Okay, that's still a lot less than what they made, but yes, it's more.
Which again is nice, but doesn't do enough because the Zoo Coins were most of this scam. That's where most of the money was spent. It wasn't just on the NFTs. It was on this in-game currency, which Logan seems to have no intention of refunding. And his response for why is pretty bad. He responds to somebody who lost $80,000 who told him, "I hope this isn't just doing what you have to do technically to not get sued."
I think that this is just doing what you have to do technically to not get sued. I think that's what this is. Yep. Because, and this is what I thought originally, is that he was never going to give everybody their money back and just like cancel the project. Because in doing so, he could open himself up to a ton of liability and he wouldn't make any money. That's another big factor. And nobody would make any money. There'd be no long-term money to be made, even though he burned all of his coins, etc. There'd be no long-term money or anything to be farmed out of this. And on top of that, like, the people could say he didn't do the project. They could say it was fraud. How do you do 80K in savings and decide to dump on Logan Paul? They're just stupid. That's why. It's simple.